Hey guys, it's Rodimus Primal. I am back with another video, and today I have got a lot of Transformers news to bring to you guys today. One thing about a Transformers manga that you can pre-order now for, there is some masterpiece reveals as far as characters are concerned, as well as Earthrise descriptions that really make you wonder if you want to get the Masterpiece toy. And on top of that, we've got some Transformers Season 3 Cyberverse news about not only the cartoon, but also the toy line. So there's a lot to talk about. So sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's transform and roll out. Consider supporting the channel on Patreon or becoming a channel member today. Okay, so the first bit of Transformers news that I want to talk to you guys about is the English release by Viz. They actually sent me a copy for review purposes, which I will be doing a review for, is the manga. And you can actually pre-order this book. It is the first time that any of this has been translated into English, and it is really exciting. There's a lot of cool full color images to see in this book, and it is really worth getting. The link in the description to actually order it, so I would definitely recommend getting it. Some of the sites are less expensive than others, so I would definitely check out the links. All right, so the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is the Season 3 information about Transformers Cyberverse, which is going to be changing its title to Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures. I'm wondering if this is the UK or international title, or if they're changing it specifically for Season 3, because, I mean, the cartoon is called Cyberverse, but I'm wondering if Cyberverse Adventures is going to be the name of the show moving forward. And there's a lot to talk about in this trailer. Some of it I probably don't want to actually play, but some of the reveals, in the trailer itself, I can talk to you guys about is they return to Cybertron. The Decepticons have been there already. There are new Decepticons, new Transformers that show up. And apparently some people have already been able to watch it on streaming, I guess through Amazon, and have released some spoilers. I don't want to dive too much into what the story is going to be with Cyberverse, Season 3, except for the fact that I do know that the show is going to be airing for 26 episodes. And there's a lot of episodes going to be, in this show, it's going to have 26 episodes. So it's actually, if you think about it, 13 half hours to make it a basically full-blown, weekly season. If you think about it in a way, just, ripped apart into 26 episodes. So it's still going to have that 10-minute runtime, which I'm not a big fan of, but it's going to be airing in the UK starting next week on their Pop TV channel. I don't know when it's airing in the US. I'm sure Cartoon Network, is obviously they're going to be the ones to be airing it in the US. Are probably going to start airing it, I'm guessing, maybe in March, and then we'll finally be able to see it by that point. And I'm sure a lot of people in the UK will be able to do their reviews because they'll be able to see it ahead of time. And I'll, of course, wait until the entire season has aired before I give you guys my full rundown. But I am actually looking forward to it because I've seen some of what the spoilers are, and I don't want to get spoiled too much, but I'm looking forward to some of it, and some of it I'm kind of going, I'm hoping that the show continues to be the decent kids, the Happy Meal version of the show that it's been. It's been, Season 2 is a lot more fun than Season 1. And I think that, with the exception of the last 5 episodes of Season 2 being a lot, very much filler, I'm hoping that Season 3 picks up that ball. And what I really, really would love to see, since Hot Rod is such an important character, I'd love to see Rodimus Prime show up in Transformers Cyberverse and be the next leader of the Autobots. I would like to see Megatron become Galvatron. I want to see those things. And with the toy line reveals, there's been toys on the shelf that have shown up now with quintessons and with like some weird like things that end up on the heads of some of those characters. So it makes me wonder if the quintessons are going to play a vital role in season 3, and I'm sure that they are, because we really don't know too much except for some of the toy reveals. Now, some of the characters who have shown up, and we can see some of the images here. There's a new character called Thunderhowl. I'm guessing he turns into some sort of lion. It's kind of like Steeljaw from Robots in Disguise. It seems like they're bringing in some of these like beasts. We could see Hammerbite, which turns into a hammerhead shark. Really interesting and weird looking characters. I like the idea of introducing new Transformers now that they have already established that some characters exist, you know, within the universe. They can start introducing brand new characters. And yeah, he turns into a hammerhead shark. Kind of weird looking, but you know, I think it's sort of, you know, it fits the aesthetic for Cyberverse. And again, I do like the idea of introducing new characters. This other character is they're Autobots. I'm wondering, are they actually loyal to the Autobot cause, or I don't know. And this is the first time we're going to see a Cyberverse toy with Optimus without his faceplate. I have said this since the beginning. I am not a fan of Optimus without his faceplate. I'm a big proponent of the mouth moving up and down like this, and having it any other way is just, personal preference for me. But this particular version of Bumblebee with the Cybertronian like hover car does show up in the trailer. And again, I don't want to show it you too much because I don't want to get like a copyright claim for showing you the trailer. But I will leave a link in the description if you do want to watch it about it. But you do see the hover car, in the trailer. And Megatron has his mace, which is very reminiscent to his old, the G1 cartoon where he faces off against Optimus on the top of Sherman Dam. And he's got a Cybertronian tank mode, which is different because in the cartoon and even in the trailer, you actually see him transform into his Earth-style tank. So it's kind of different, and I guess it kind of has to do with the fact that he's got a double-barrel blaster, which is kind of interesting. And this version of Starscream, with this like laser blasting gimmick, I really don't like these gimmicks. I'll be honest with you, these gimmicks are just not my cup of tea. Shout out to Saberblade at Cybertron, but that jet mode reminds me of a I don't know if it's like either a Cylon Raider with like that, like if you remember from the Battlestar Galactica, the reboot series where like the Cylon heads were here and it had like these weird like the wings kind of folded out this way, or it might remind you of one of the starfighters from Star Wars. I'm not familiar exactly which ship it is, but I've seen some of the ships in Star Wars, and it does remind me of those particular two types of ships. So if you do like this version of Starscream, personally, I'm definitely going for that Earthrise one. That Earthrise one looks amazing. And speaking of Earthrise, I'm actually taking a little bit of a detour with this, because at the Wonder Festival of 2020, which I think was a week or two ago, I missed this news because I was really trying to get you guys my Mirage video out. And if you have not seen my Mirage video, of course, my latest Transformers discussion video, which is what you guys always like to see, I put a lot of work into it within the past week with a lot of in real life stuff happening that I could not cover the news with this. So I'm excited to talk about this news. And I want to talk to you guys about this a little bit more of a detail. And the reason why is because they showed a full Devastator. They showed Masterpiece Tigatron and Masterpiece Arcee. Now, Devastator does look great. Devastator does look great if you are a fan of this version of Devastator. You guys already know I am not a fan of Michael Bay's designs when it comes down to Transformers. And if he was called a different name, like if he was called like maybe like, I don't know, Compactor or something, like some different kind of name as a combiner or landfill, like maybe give him that name, because to me this is not Devastator in my opinion. But the combiners, as a combiner, they're finally doing the engineering to give you guys a Devastator that, works for this character. And I give them a lot of credit for putting in the engineering work in it. and giving you guys a toy that I hope you guys really enjoy if you're into the Studio Series aesthetic and the movie designs for the robots, and you can get yourself one of these Devastator fully combined. The next surprise was Tigatron. If you guys know, I love Beast Wars, and I know some people don't, but Tigatron is a pleasant surprise, and he is not a recolor for the first time of Cheetor. Instead, he's a brand new mold. He's slightly bigger. He has an actual tiger head, whereas I think the cheetah head and the tiger head were very similar on the original toy. And he's got like the wrist blasters that kind of come out very much like Springer in Transformers the movie, or like he did when he fired on Megatron in his debut episode. And the detailing on him is phenomenal. And from the images that I've seen, I mean, you could see how much detail work comes into it, and obviously he's going to transform into his full tiger mode. I have not seen any images yet of his actual tiger mode, and I'm curious how the transformation is going to work, if it's going to be very similar to his, original Beast Wars toy design. I don't know if he's going to be an upscale version of Cheetor. I'm hoping that this version of Tigatron is a version of the character that you guys have been waiting for, if you're a fan of him. I loved his character. I loved his like him being like an outsider. He wanted to live on his own. He wanted to do his own thing. And yet he was still there for the Maximals when they needed him. And he was able to help them in so many ways. And so I'm looking forward to this, especially if you are a fan of the character. Now, the one character that a lot of people are, I don't know if I would say that they are angry about, or if they're excited about, or if they are, have mixed emotions about, is Masterpiece Arcee. And she looks fantastic. I gotta say, she looks really, really good in robot mode. And she also really looks good in car mode there. But some people are complaining about her proportions. And here her car mode looks really, really good. You can see how much detailing is putting into it. They actually have a connector piece here where she has like the hook when she knocked out one of the Junkions during the whole Dare to be Stupid, moment in the movie. And, she has seats in the car, and looks like they're putting a lot of detail work into the car itself, which says a lot. And the other thing is that some people are complaining about her proportions because of either how she is shaped, and also the fact that she has a backpack. All of her car is like in her backpack. I mean, it is the only way you can make that work and make the car fit into all of that and still give you the figure of Arcee that you expect for the G1 character. And they've done a phenomenal job of it. Now, I do want to show you guys this toy right here. This is Takara Legends Arcee, and she has a backpack. And like her whole car mode is literally her backpack. And it is the only way they were able to get her car mode to fit in there. She doesn't have waist articulation, but she does have leg articulation. She can move her legs up and down, and her proportions are exactly the same. It almost seems to me that with this mold, they upscaled the Takara Legends Arcee, and the Hasbro version, in my eyes, is the IDW version of the character. So like with the black highlights and stuff like that. So like that's like IDW Arcee, and this is G1 cartoon Arcee. And this here, this one here, she can't like close her legs together. It seems like the way that her hips are designed, they just don't come together, to make that same pose that you can with this version of Arcee. Because what they were trying to do, and it seems to be that they were trying to, add more detailing to her so she can make the poses that she does in the cartoon, as well as in art. But some people were saying that this chest piece here should have actually been a little bit higher. And, looking at this version of Arcee, I kind of disagree. I think that they seem to have tried to make this work. But then again, it is possible. Maybe it does need to be up a little bit more, and it would give you that design that, you know, that you're looking for out of Arcee. But I think that as far as her robot mode is concerned, and the car mode for the Masterpiece just looks fantastic. I mean, it's just straight up, like, I also like the fact that she's got finger articulation, and the fact that they are trying to give her the proportions that she should have from the G1 cartoon. That being said, she's $145. And at $145, not everybody could afford that. And so people are waiting for the Earthrise version of the character. I know I am. I like the Takara Legends version of Arcee, but I really do want an update to G1 Arcee that gives her the articulation that we've seen in Siege that they were not able to do with this toy. Masterpiece seems to be doing it, you know, trying to make the whole backpack out of it, and Earthrise is going to be doing it. So I'm wondering if it's going to be a Wave 2 toy, Wave 2 or Wave 3, and it seems we're also getting an Alicon. Now, Alicons, they actually show in this image, were those like gator-like monsters that when Hot Rod and Cup first land on Quintessa, they face off against like the squids and the piranha-like fish, and then Hot Rod fixes Cup, and then they come across the Alicons who come out of the swamp waters, and that's where they do the whole universal greeting, and they don't reciprocate, and the Alicons transform into their gator modes and bring them to the Quintessons. So they're actually calling this toy Quintesson Alicon. And I think that's a good name, you know, in order to obviously skirt around the idea behind it. But it's, you know, Earth mode G1 and weapons. So it seems that they are literally making the Transformers the movie and season 3 character into a toy. And they're also doing the same thing with Arcee. Now, here is the interesting thing about Arcee that the Masterpiece toy is not doing. It says Earth Mode G1 and Weapons. The Arcee toy converts into the classic G1 sports car mode in 15 steps, comes with a blaster as an accessory. Part of the character backpack can be removed for a more stylish look and is used as a hoverboard. That's awesome. Everybody who was complaining about the backpack on the Earthrise toy is removable. So we're going to get a G1 cartoon accurate Arcee. You can take the backpack off and she can use it as a hoverboard. That's cool. That's straight up cool. But I am curious about her car mode. And the reason why I'm curious about her car mode is because of this particular character. Again, I'm continuing to show you guys this Arcee toy because this is the only real version of G1 Arcee. Like, we had animated and we had, the obviously the Hasbro release of this toy, and this is the Takara Legends. And then, of course, they recolored this toy in, I think it was black, in for the IDW comic, where it was a whole Combiner Wars thing. It's where Victorion actually came to be. And this toy in particular's car mode leaves a little bit to be desired. And I'm still in the midst of transforming it, but you can kind of see, like, she does have her detailing, right? She has like her steering wheel, she has her seats in there. And it is a good Cybertronian car. But I'm really curious if they are going to make this car mode more like an Earth style car, or if they're gonna go with this whole like hot Cybertronian or futuristic Cybertronian car or sports car or whatever. I'm really curious as to what it's going to look like. Now, Toy Fair is not is just around the corner. And when Toy Fair comes around and a lot of that news breaks, I will be bringing that news to you. I look forward to all of it. I thank you guys very much for helping support the channel, either on Patreon or on or becoming a channel member or checking out my merch store, but I want to know what you guys think. Of course, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to thumbs up this video and subscribe. I've got a lot of new content coming down the pipeline. I'm working on my next Transformers discussion video. I have got, I'm going to showcase some of my, some of my custom work that I've done on some of the toys, and I'm going to do a book review for the Transformers manga. So stay tuned for all of that. And as always, guys, until next time, till all are one.